That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla. We are joined now by Mike Sautter of Hurrdat Sports and NEB Prep. Sautter, what's going on, man?
Omaha was impressive again, and man, their ability to guard out on the wings is pretty good.
Yeah,
That like the way that roster is built with its length. I think it's different. Or would you agree it's different than how a lot of teams built their roster in the Summit?
yeah, absolutely. The league isn't used to that kind of length and athleticism on the wings. It just isn't. Especially like guards and the one through or the 2, 3, 4 is not used to that athleticism and length. Normally, you look around the league and you're like St. Thomas is a very good team. Saw them for the first half last night and saw them obviously when they played in Omaha, and they're very good, but they're not built like that. They're not built like Omaha is. They run their stuff really well, but and their switchability, that's something that I mentioned. I remember post-game press conference with Coach Crutch after they won. I think it was Mount Marty they played or someone way early in December. And I was like, hey, your switchability on the wing with Markel Sutton, Cam Thomas, Jay Sean Glover, like they're all really good defenders and have some length there is going to be a problem. And obviously it is. And last night it was. And shutting off Jamar Brown from Kansas City, that kid, he's really good and can go off on you in a hurry. So they handled business, but it wasn't perfect. And I say that when a team that was leading by 18 points in the second half.
So, Sautter, let me ask you because I do find the way that they constructed the roster pretty fascinating because I was a pretty vocal opponent of the fact that they were not recruiting a lot of Nebraska high school kids that end up playing in the Summit League. But do you think it may be as simple as they looked at which types of teams Summit League teams struggle with in the NCAA tournament and maybe in non-con, and they go, oh, well, maybe if we just built like that, we'd be pretty good?
Yeah, probably a little bit. Yeah. It is. I was a vocal opponent of it, right? For someone that believes in Nebraska high school kids all the time. I was like, oh, wait, hey, like, why aren't you, there's kids here, right here, like recruit them. I was, and I've told members of their staff that I don't have a problem with that. I do think it was probably, hey, let's look around the league and see what everyone else is not and try and be the opposite of that, but have some skill to go with that. And that certainly has helped. And they're big, right? Like their posts, like Josh Street, the backup, Isaac, I am not going to say it right. Anaconda is has played really well down the stretch here. Yesterday they just went to him in the post and it worked. So they're big, like thick, strong guys. And hey, you know what? We've named almost everyone on the roster except for the starting point guard JJ White, who was also a first team all league guy to go. So
In my former life, I was leaving the building, and then Coach Crandall was coming back from the airport picking up JJ White and wanted some stuff signed for a fundraiser that Coach Crutch was having in year one. As he's sitting in the front seat, and I'm thinking Georgia and length, I got an idea right away of what they were going to be after in terms of playing in the backcourt.
Yeah, they don't. I mean, that's something that he has. Coach Crutch has certain metrics of like, in order to play the 2 or the 3, you have to be this height, this length, all that. And hey, frankly, it's working right now. So like, can we, can knock him for it. And I give him credit. He stuck to his guns when people told him that, like me, that told him, hey, you should be recruiting some more local kids here and whatever. And it was like, nah, they don't fit the size and athleticism metric that we want. He stuck to his guns and it's working out. It's been a great ride and story. I mean, I guess I've been to now 15 of their game or 14 of their games this season and covered 14 of them. By the way, maybe I'm the secret weapon because they're 12-2 in those 14 games. I'm just saying.
Team Sautter. So. I think a little closer than probably North Dakota, South Dakota State. What do you think happens real quick in South Dakota and North Dakota State?
South Dakota has two guards that can really get going, so that will be interesting. North Dakota State obviously is well coached. It's going to be a matter of, can South Dakota speed up North Dakota State enough? Because they like to press and pressure and all that stuff, but they also give up. It's, if you break it quick, you give up some stuff on the back end or backside. That one will be good. The North Dakota South Dakota State game is very interesting. Their South Dakota State's going to have to just go to Oscar Clough over and over and over and over again, and I think they can maybe find success there. I guess a little banged up maybe, so that probably doesn't help them. They also lost, at North Dakota. They lost like the last week here of the regular season for South Dakota State hasn't been awesome. Just watching last night at those two semis, I can't imagine St. Thomas and Omaha not playing for the final on Sunday night at 8 p.m. They're just better, right? Like they just are. It's going to take a pretty big effort for them, or they'll just have to like totally fall apart for those two teams not to play in the final. And if that's the case,
Nebraska or Omaha's in.
Omaha's in. So Omaha's in no matter what, even if they lose the league. I know they want to win that league title, like the tournament. Like they don't want to get in some backdoor way, but like that game would be pretty sweet, I think, on Sunday night, if that ends up what it ends up being.
Hey, an invite's an invite. I'll take it however you can get it.